Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com. I want to do a video if you're a New York Met fan. Your captain, your all-star, you're the face of the franchise, David Wright, who's been constantly injured, seems like, for the last couple of years. Now they're saying that he has spinal stenosis. Spinal stenosis, it's an injury where a lot of athletes don't come back from. Taking point, it ends careers. Lenny Dykstra, former Met, his career was ended. Spinal stenosis. Right now he's going back to California. It's David Wright. The doctors will see what they could do. I just want to give you my thoughts. And David Wright, it seems like he's been going downhill since he first landed on that DL years ago. When he took a shot to the head, since then, he's never really been the same. If you remember, he got hit in the head a couple of years back, went on the DL, came back, and he's never really been the same since. He has been on it now for at least once for too many years, is David Wright. What can you say? When will he be back? Unfortunately, I think with the Mets, you guys are stuck with this contract, and we'll never see him play like he did before he signed this contract. I don't think he's coming back to that point. And honestly, it's like with the Mets, how do you go from having a hammy and then when you're going to come back, you get diagnosed with spinal stenosis? That's what it seemed like, that David Wright was on the verge of coming back, and this is his diagnosis. His setback all of a sudden goes from a hammy to spinal stenosis. Truthfully and honestly, I'm not trying to be a wise ass over here, but the Mets keep guys out if the slightest thing is out of sorts, honestly. How can anyone else possibly think that David will be able to play major league caliber baseball with a condition, again, with spinal stenosis? Hopefully he'll be able to manage, and I'll be proven wrong, but sadly I just don't see it coming back. A lot of Met fans are saying, they've said, I remember years ago listening to Sports Talk, that they weren't behind the signing, and now that the Mets are going to eat $100 million contract yet again. At the time, this is what I'll say about that. At the time, the contract, I think the signing was the right thing to do. And when you look at the numbers, that is not a huge contract, not beyond the realm of possibility. But as to what's going to happen, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he tries a comeback. But yet again, I just don't see it coming back. I just don't see him coming back. If you're a Met fan, honestly, and you have the ownership such as the Wilpons, what are the Wilpons going to do to make the situation better? Fortunately, last couple of years here, if you're a Met fan, I don't think honestly that the Wilpons will do anything at all. I think you guys will be hovering around the 500 mark, because of that pitching, which is better than the last couple of years, but it's just another frustration. I don't see the Mets, doing anything. Maybe they'll try something at the All-Star, at the trade deadline, to make a move. But at the end of the day, I just don't see him spending that money. So what's going to happen? What would you as Met fans do? I just want to give you some of my thoughts on David Wright and his new diagnosis of spinal stenosis. Tough break.